Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for the new legendary hero that's going to drop later today by Intelligent Systems in the reveal trailer. We're expecting some exciting things, especially hot on the heels of the Choose Your Legends 2 banner, so let's see what they have in store for us. Okay. Let's take a look here. A new legendary hero joins the battle. Hero King, alright! Hey, looking pretty dapper there. Alright, we've got our Marth wielding his Fire Emblem. Okay, Exalted Falchion, Binding Shield. We'll take a look at his skills after the fact, but effective against dragons, as we would expect. Oh, look at that! That animation. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. A lot of people have been waiting for Marth for a long time. Alright, we've got Faye, Brave Lucina, Nephany, Fjorm, Gunthra, Love-Abound Hector, Spring Alphonse, Spring Kagero, Legendary Robin, Swordheart, ooh, Lean, alright. Very cool, alright, so we'll take another look at the characters that are available, as well as Marth himself. A lot of people have been waiting for a new version of Marth. It took a while for us to even get one alt of Marth, and now we're finally getting a legendary version of him. I know a lot of people are excited for a flagship character of the series. Marth has been relatively underrepresented, especially when compared to some of the other characters in the game. So, big ups to Intelligent Systems for putting out a new Marth. And I know a lot of people are going to be excited about it. So let's go ahead and play again. Take another look at the trailer. And we'll freeze frame it, stop it at the key point so we can take a closer look. So Hero King.
Legendary hero, please.
Let's pause it here to take a look at his art. So Yuri Lowenthal doing the voice again. Daisuke Izuka doing the art. It looks cool. I like the outfit. Not the legless Marth. Not the pantsless Marth that I think some people may have been expecting, but I think it looks pretty dapper. I like the whole fur aesthetic around his collar, and the armor looks very slick, modernized. And of course, he's wielding the Fire Emblem. He is going to be a fire legendary hero. And he's going to be an infantry sword unit. So let's keep going with it.
I've done nothing so grand as to earn such a title.
Alright, let's pause here to take a look at his skills. Alright, so he's got the Exalted Falchion. Effective against dragon foes, no surprise there. Grants speed +3, always a great thing. Grants bonus to attack speed defense res during combat, equals current bonus on each of the unit stats. Calculates each stat bonus independently. Does that mean if there's an activated boost on him that it basically doubles it? I am not exactly sure. As it sounds like if you hit him with like an attack tactic, for example, give him a +6 attack to his attack stat, this will grant him +6 in, in combat boosts as well. So if I'm reading that right, that's amazing. I mean, that's a very, very powerful weapon, especially in conjunction with, heavy buffers on their teams. Alright, so we've got a new special, and just historically, characters that have new specials tend to break the game a little bit, or they tend to be very powerful, I should say. We've got Black Luna, you got Regnal Astra, so characters that have their own special tend to be very strong. So let's take a look at this. Fire Emblem, 2 cooldown. Boosts damage dealt by 30% of unit speed. Okay, so already that's amazing. Already it's sort of in line with Regnal Astra. Grants attack speed defense res +4 to unit and all allies for 1 turn after combat. Bonus granted to allies even if unit's HP reaches 0. So even if he dies? Okay, so that's sort of weird. Interesting. So it grants a +4 to all stats. To both Marth and all of his allies for 1 turn after the combat is over. So if he's paired with a refresher like a dancer, then he could take advantage of that. Or if, on enemy phase, he can take advantage of that if he's going to be defending it in the following enemy phase turn. Or any of his allies will reap the benefits of that boost as well. So it has that inherent strength of being a speed-based special, just like Regnal Astra. And it also has this buffing effect, which is very cool. It's on a 2-turn cooldown, which means it's going to be incredibly easy for him to have this at 0 cooldown activation on turn 1, which is incredibly deadly. He's got attack speed bond 3 on his A slot. If unit is adjacent to an ally, grants attack speed +5 during combat. Bond skills are always very solid. Binding shield for his B slot. In combat against a dragon foe, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and a foe cannot counterattack or make a follow-up attack. Wow, okay. So this is going to completely cripple dragons. Yeah. So dragons can't retaliate against him, and if they're attacking him, they can't double him. I mean, that's pretty crazy. We'll have to see how Binding Shield actually interacts with other B skills or other skills in general. As you know, Quick Riposte, for example, and Wary Fighter cancel out. So usually skills of a similar nature will cancel themselves out and let the stats kind of handle the doubling properties. In this instance, if a unit has Brash Assault, for example, or if you're dealing with a male Grima, who is an armor and a dragon, and that armor and dragon has Bold Fighter, for example, those will force a double attack, right? Those force a follow-up. Binding Shield prevents the follow-up. So will those two cancel each other out, and will the stats, handle the interaction? Probably. We won't be completely certain until we see Binding Shield in action, but it's interesting. Infantry Flash 3 for the C slot. Infantry allies within 2 spaces gain the following property. If unit speed is greater than foe's speed, grant special cooldown charge +1 per unit's attack. So he gives Flashing Blade to all of his infantry allies within 2 spaces. That's a huge buff to infantry units as a whole. It also creates whole new flexibility for units that would rely on Flashing Blade or would benefit from Flashing Blade, because then they can use that seal. That's a huge advantage for units that would be relying on using and proccing Flashing Blade, infantry units specifically. Those units would be able to use another skill on their seal, which is very, very valuable. And Marth himself, you notice that Infantry Flash 3 doesn't affect him, so he can actually still benefit from equipping Flashing Blade. So a very solid kit, very interesting, and completely and absolutely devastating to dragons. Let's keep going with it. That animation is really cool. Got a little million stab action going. Oh, and the shield pops up too. The Fire Emblem pops up during the special. That's cool. Alright, so taking a look at these units, I mean, Faye is always very, very valuable. I'd say that blue is a little bit on the weaker side here. Green has... Okay. Green has Gunthra, Spring Alphonse, and Hector, which is very strong. Alright, so let's pause here, take a look at the roster that is available during this Legendary Hero banner. We've got, for Colorless, Faye, Spring Kagero, and Female Grima. Faye is always great fodder. That Fire Sweep bow is extremely valuable. Spring Kagero is actually a very underrated, very strong flying unit. And we have Female Grima, who is pretty great. Pretty great, especially if you don't have her already. For blues, we've got Fjorm, Nephany, and Brave Lucina. And Brave Lucina is great as a buffer. I would say that she's kind of been displaced a little bit in terms of usability, but she's still great. I mean, and so is Nephany. Nephany is one of the few sources of wrath in the game, which is very valuable, and Nephany herself is good. And Fjorm is Fjorm. I mean, honestly, I think blue is a little bit on the weaker side here, just based on looking at this. Certainly, I would say blue is a little bit less desirable than colorless, for example, but it all kind of depends on your barracks. Right? Okay, for green, we have Gunthra, Love Abounds Hector, and Spring Alphonse. That's pretty good. That's a pretty solid selection. Spring Alphonse is a little underrated as a cavalry axe wielder. He's actually very strong. Gunthra is very, very powerful, and Love Abounds Hector is extremely strong as well. I would say that green may even be a little bit better than colorless. And then for reds, we have the new Marth, the new legendary Marth, the new Hero King. We have Swordheart, and we have Lean. I think that color is stacked. So red, I think, is extremely powerful. Just in terms of my own personal tiering, I would say that red is probably the most desirable on this banner. Then green afterwards, colorless shortly, close behind the green. And then blue trailing a little bit behind the colorless. Again, it all depends on what you have in your barracks and what you're looking for. Just as a quick reminder that on legendary banners, as long as you are looking for at least 2 of the units per color, then it is worthwhile to go ahead and pull and even snipe. The odds are actually in your favor of pulling one of those units. However, if you are sniping for one single unit individually on a banner, your odds are actually worse to get that single unit, a copy of that single unit, than on a regular 4-person or 3-person banner. So just keep that in mind. Again, you know, the 8% is there split among the 12 units. 12 units are, for the most part, very great, and you don't have any pity breaker chances. It's best if you need at least 2 units for the color that you're sniping. So let me know in the comments below if you're going to pull on this banner, if you're excited for the new Hero King Marth. Personally, I might go in a little bit. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. I might wait until sort of the close end of the banner to see if I'm going to actually pull on it or not. I hope you enjoyed watching the trailer for the first time with me. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you so much for watching. We really, really do appreciate it. And until next time, let's protect those skies.